Hello everyone, this is Jeannie, also known as Scrapbooking Mamaw. Today I want to share with you my coloring technique that I use with my Prismacolors. There are other brands out there, but for me this is what I normally use. I have used other colors, but so far this is the one that I usually use on my projects. You use any colors and you can follow the same technique. And for me, I found that the best coloring, the lead, is to be not real soft, but soft enough to where it'll be easily to be blended. So let me go ahead and get started. I think the first thing that I'm going to work on are my flowers. And if you'll notice, there are flowers that basically look alike. This one, and this one have the same design to them. So I think I'm going to start with those, and to me they kind of look like a daisy, so I'm going to make those yellow. And I usually use 2 or 3 colors of yellow. And now every once in a while you may hear me sharpen a pencil or something, but just ignore that, because I have to get, I like to have a certain lead, kind of like this. Sometimes I get them sharper than that. Let me see. I've got 2 different colors of yellow here. One is, see if I can find it, canary yellow, and the other one is, if I can find it too, well, they're both canary yellow. I thought I had 2 different ones, so sorry about that. But anyway, canary yellow, and then I usually use this one here, the yellow ochre. So I will start with the lighter color. I always bring out my white, because that's how I blend my my color, sorry. I also have this colorless blender pencil from Prismacolor. Sometimes I use that, but for right now, the white seems to be blending really well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my yellow, my lightest color. With Prismacolors or colored pencils, normally you start out with the lightest color. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm doing here first. And then instead of doing every piece and making this a really, really long video, I'm going to start out with and make one flower for you. Then as I go along, I may add another flower. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see where your pieces of art begin and stop on each piece. Okay, now as you see, I've gone around each petal. It really didn't take that long to go around with the yellow. Okay, but I keep it handy for me. Then I take my darker color, and I'll decide where I want my shadows to be. I think I'm going to do the light from the left and go down. So my shadows are going to be in here, on the right-hand side of each petal. See, as the light comes in, you're going to have more light over this way the further the light goes. And then the further away from the light, more shadowing you're going to get. And see, I'm going to go around this flower too, and probably get in here kind of dark, because it's got 2 flowers there involved. Or 2 petals, not flowers. Well, actually, I guess it is 2 flowers, isn't it? This one and this one. So you've got two of them there, and this one's kind of overlapping this petal. So you make that kind of dark there too, because that brings a shadow into it. So here I go, more shadowing. And it may not look really good right now, but you'll see what I'm going to do here in just a bit. And I just kind of keep blending in the way I want, if I want a little darker or not. See, it's going to be lightened up some once I get my white to blend it. I could use the blending tool. In fact, let me go ahead and try that just so you see what I'm talking about. Get it back out. And all you do, since it's a colorless pencil, you just circle around it. And you make little circles to get those colors blended. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but it did blend some. And it is blending pretty good, but I still really like to do my white, because I like to add layers, and that's what the colored pencils do. You keep adding layers. And sometimes you can use one pencil and just do it lighter and then make it a little darker as you go along, and it'll work that way too. So usually I use two to three colors. And for me, with the white also, you get more blending in the other portion, the lighter color, in here, and take away some of those white spots that you get using colored pencils. You're filling up those white gaps. Now first, another thing I need to tell you too, this is a freebie that Connie Fong on her Facebook page is giving away for probably a limited time. But anyway, you use it for your Facebook challenge that she has going on. So I'll try to post a link to her Facebook page so you can get your freebie and enter into her contest. Okay, so I've got that colored, but I feel like it needs to be a little darker. I have been known to add little browns into it, into the yellows. I just kind of make quick little circles, is all I'm doing. Okay, now I'm going to go into the base, or to the center of the flower, and I can always come back here if I want to and change things up. And I'm going to start off with kind of a light color. Instead of going right into brown, I'm going to use the beige. So I'll have my two different colors at least in here. I'm going to be using brown tones in here. These could be black if you want to, but I like the brown tones for this. Always try to set the colors I'm using aside rather than back into my container, because if I put back in my container, I'll forget which colors I used. Okay, now I want to use light umber. You could use a different kind of light brown if you want to. Again, my shadows are going to be this way, toward the right of the flower. Maybe just a tiny bit in here, just to give it more depth. Bring in my pencil, white pencil. So I can get it to blend. Again, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more of the brown to it. Less of the dark in there because I feel like it's got too light in there. I'm also using this foam board so you can see it better, because my We Are Memory Keepers glass mat kind of had a lot of light into it, and it was hard to see what I was going to be doing. So I thought, well, I'll try my mat. So my color depth is going to be a little bit different because I've got a kind of a cushion here. So, but that was the first thing I could find. If I want to, I can go over this with another brown. Let me see if I got one I want to use. I don't want it to be overpowering. And this is the thing about the colors, is that you can always add darker, but don't start with your light or dark. Start with your light and go dark. Yeah, like that. Yeah. To me, the darker is adding to it, but I don't want to go all the way around it. And I do believe I'm going to use some dark down in here to the flowers. Kind of outline them a little bit. Give them a little bit more depth to them. I know a lot of people probably use Copics, which is great, you know, but I've used colored pencils for so long that it's just become a habit for me. And you see where you want the shadowing and everything, you're going to kind of have something here. So I'm going to put in little circles in here and blend them together. Get those all darkened up in there. Gives it a little bit more depth to it. Not too much over here because that's my lighter side. Just a little bit. And sometimes I come in and outline my individual pieces too. I may or may not. That's, your discretion. And when I get done doing the colors, and I always look and see if I need to do a little bit more to it. So, and I can outline in the brown. Normally I outline in the black after I'm all done to see if that gives it more depth to it. But right now I'm using my brown, and I probably won't do my black, but I will find that out once I get done coloring my whole image to see if I need to add the black to it. This being such a dark color, I'm thinking I probably won't need to do that. So, everybody's got their own style on how they do things. But then I just wanted to show you what I do. Things I've done and learned on the way of becoming an artist of sorts. The thing that most people have trouble with is that they always try to figure out where the shadow goes versus the light. If you've got your light coming from your left side, then that means the left side is going to be predominantly light. And that means the shadow is going to be on the right side, so those colors are going to be darker. You're going to have more shadowing on the right side. So, but anyway, here's my first flower. If you can see that. Let me get my glasses on because I can't see with them close up, but I can't see far away without them. So, there's my flower. So what I'm going to do next is, let me see if I want to do another one for you. Let me put kind of a red color in this one. Now, I don't have like a true red color. I've got various colors of red, and I go along and add my colored red tones to it. Some of my pencils are so short now, but I kind of wear them out to use them. Okay, the first color. Oh, another tip. If you're, sharpening your pencil, try not to sharpen on the end that has the word on it, what color this is. You want to sharpen the opposite end. I have found out the hard way because what color is it I need? Because I can't see the color name on it because I went and sharpened the pencil the wrong end. So, anyway, I'm going to start out with Scarlet Lake, and I think I have another bigger one in there, but I like to use it as long as I can. Okay, so the same thing with this. I'm going to start out with the petal color, the basic color. For this point, I think what I'm going to do is just do the two colors for now so that you can see what I'm doing. And you'll be able to see that there are at least white spots in there, my red does. So what I'm going to do is blend that with my white. And if you see that there is a difference right here between that, and what I'm doing now is just blending the color itself to take away some of those white spots. They will be colored in with other colors too, but I want to make sure I get my basic color down. So you don't have to do it this way, but this is the way I do it. Okay, my next color is going to be, let me see, make sure I get the color I want. I think, because I want it to be fairly dark, not like a real deep dark maybe. I won't know that until I get done, but I think I'm going to go with my next layer of terracotta. Yeah, that's what I want. So again, I'm doing the shadowing. It's going to be on the right side and along this other petal next to this one, because it kind of overlaps it. Okay, and take again my white, blend those kind of together. Because you don't want them to look like you just drew a color on there. You want them to look realistic enough to where it looks like they're just all one part, and it is in the shadow. Now, because it is a kind of a dark color in here, I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and add a deeper color or not. I'm going to try and see what it looks like. I may just do outline. Yeah, that'll work very, very well. Yes, those are the three colors I'm going with. I'm going with first the Scarlet Lake, and then I'm going to do the terracotta, and then I'm going to do the Crimson Lake. So that's light to dark. Now, if you'll notice, this is my white spot here, my light. So I'm going to kind of put a white in there. The yellow is harder to do that with because you can't see it that well anyway. But you can do that, you know, to lighten it up. You may not be able to see it with the naked eye, but it'll be in there enough to where it gives it more depth. Let me wipe off the white, the yellow off of my white before I go into here. Make sure, that's another thing. Make sure your white pencil is clean before you go to a different color. Again, this is just my preference. I like using my white pencil. Okay, now, here it is with the red in there, the 2 petals I've done. And there's the yellow. I'm going to stop this video and then I'll bring it back up and show you what I've finished it with. So the big thing for me on my coloring is that you start out with the light, then the next color, and the darker color. You just go 2 or 3 stages, whatever you need to do. Sometimes you can use one pencil and go darker with it. Start out light and just press a little bit darker for the next stage and so forth. Just don't get so heavy leaded with it that, you know, it's going to be a little, I'm not sure what you call it, but you'll have little spots in your paper where the color won't blend anymore. So you've got to be really careful that you don't go so many layers that it's not going to blend well. So anyway, I will show you the end results, and if you have any questions, just go ahead and inbox me and let me know. Thank you, and God bless. So now, here is my finished project. I've got it all colored up, as you can see, and I've mounted it on a card. The paper is Simple Stories that I got in a kit when I was guest designer with Scrapbooking with Me Boutique on their Facebook page. And I had some letter stickers in my stash. And of course, I use all my Prismacolors on here. I do various colors and try to keep them, the theme of each flower the same color, basically, maybe a little slight variation. And I 3D foam mounted my image onto the gingham paper. So that is my project, and I hope you go to Connie Fong's Facebook page and find her freebie and join in the Facebook freebie challenge over there. And if you have any questions, just give me a PM and I'll do my best to answer those. Thank you, God bless, and have a wonderful rest of the day.